Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. A good friend of mine recently bought a couple firefighting pumps in preparation for the coming summer and asked me to make him some roll cages for them so they are less prone to tipping. So with that said, let's get started. So my plan here is to make the bottom out of square tube and the top out of bent round tube. So I'm starting by cutting up some pieces for the bottom. Cold saws are really great for this sort of stuff as they give you very accurate and smooth cuts. So this is how the pieces turned out, and now it's time to start tacking it all together. Unfortunately, I don't have a welding table just yet, so I have to arrange the pieces vertically and use magnetic clamps to hold everything together. Most of the time it turns out fine, but in this case, once I tacked together all three corners, the fourth corner gave me a lot of trouble, so I had to get a bit creative to get that corner welded. If you don't have a flat surface to work on, I found the best way is to clamp some straight tubes on the corners to get everything flat. So that's what I resorted to in this case. So now that I've got everything tacked together, I'm just going to start welding it all together. I'm using a 0.9mm solid core wire with argon CO2 mix, and as you can see, it's not the best thing for galvanized metal. With the bottom frame done, here I'm just cutting some square tube pieces that the fire pump will be bolted to. I need 4 pieces in total for the 2 frames, and I think that when I bolt these pieces to the frame, I'm going to add some rubber dampeners to absorb any vibrations. With the pieces cut out, I'm just putting them in the mill vise so that I can start drilling the holes at the ends so that I can bolt them to the frame. I'm drilling out one side of the hole bigger so that the bolt head would fit. Now that I've finished drilling those holes, I'm turning my attention back to the frame we made earlier, and I'm just marking the centers of the corners so that I can drill holes for the rubber feet that are going to go under the frame. Obviously I'm not Spielberg here, as you can see my hands are all in front of the camera. Well, here is how it is so far. The pump is going to go here. I'm planning to put some rubber dampeners under these metal pieces, and rubber feet will go in these holes. Looking good so far. Here I'm just using the original feet off the fire pump to know where to drill the holes. So I flipped the pieces around and I'm just opening up the holes on the other side for the bolt heads to clear. So here I'm just cutting up a rubber mat into small square pieces that will be used as dampeners. So now that the bottom half is all finished, it's time to start cutting up the round tube and bending it for the roll frame. So these pieces are going to form the hoops of the roll cage. I bent a test piece and used that to work out how long the pieces should be and where the bends should be. So after each bend, I use a digital protractor to make sure that I get the next bend in the same plane as the previous bend, and I don't get any twist between the two bends. The pieces ended up turning out okay, but I did get some variation in the angles from piece to piece. Here I'm just notching some tube that I cut to brace the two bent sections. And this is not the best setup. I ended up losing some teeth on this hole saw as it's not very rigid. Well, the roll cages are nearly finished. I'm just really welding everything up together now. And after this, I'm going to give them a good paint. And obviously you know what the color is going to be. It's going to be pink. No, red obviously. Well, there's the finished product. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.